What can you do to keep your kids safe in a world you don't understand? Nothing.
Steve Dotto has been called Canada's most respected geek. Best known as host and executive producer of Dotto Tech, a nationally syndicated TV show, Dotto has made a career out of demystifying technology for the average Canadian. He was in Sudbury on May 30th to talk about youth and online safety and the importance of knowing the dangers your kids face online so parents can keep them safe. This is Headliners with Steve Dotto. I've got two sons. One's 11, one's 15, and they're both facing a whole new online reality that certainly we didn't face when we were growing up. And as a parent, maybe give me an idea of what I need to do before I let them go online, or what I should be aware of.
Are they not online yet?
Well,
that's the question. There's a bit of a pressure on most adults to be the experts. My dad knew more than I did about everything, and I would turn to him for everything. That pressure's off us now. Kids don't expect us to know everything about the internet world, about the online world. They don't know everything. Kids are happy to show each other an app, and if an app's a year old and a kid hasn't seen the app, the other kid doesn't go, "You moron, you didn't know." But as adults, we think, if I ask about this and it's old school, my kid's going to laugh at me. They probably will laugh at you just because it's fun to laugh at your parents. Mm-hmm. But think about the opportunity for engagement. If you were to say to your 15-year-old son, you know what, I've been playing with Facebook, I don't get a bunch of things, and I want to use it more, but I'm wondering about what happens if I do this? If I post this picture, who can see it? And then you say, what do? You create a dialogue with your kids. You allow them to be the experts on the app, and you're the experts on the morality and the content. And you're saying, well, I'm not comfortable with that picture being anywhere online, so that's a picture that I choose not to put up. Why do you feel comfortable that that picture's there? And without being judgmental, you can create a dialogue. You can also learn from it, because they will teach you. And maybe it's the first time that they're going to sit down and they're going to go, oh, how do I have my privacy settings set up? And Dad's, some Dad, I'm not too sure about that. Well, maybe it's something we should look into. So that gives you that opportunity.
So the next step seems to be, or maybe the Google Glass, the glasses. And right now I could be talking to you and really doing something else. What's your impression of that? Is that something that's going to catch on, or is everybody going to have Google eyeglasses in the next
I sure hope not.
5 years?
I don't like them. I don't like it at all.
What don't you like?
Every time our privacy has been invaded, to a certain extent, there has to be an external mechanism that is obvious. You're recording me right now, there's cameras, there's lights, there's this sort of stuff. Even if I was recording you on my phone, I'd be hitting a button and with Google Glass, the loss of privacy is going to be profound. Everybody that you're talking to could have the potential of being recording you that's wearing Google Glass. We've just barely gotten our heads around where cell phone use is appropriate. Well, Google Glass use, there's going to be restaurants that are going to say no Google Glass. Don't come into the restaurant, Google Glass is a privacy area. Clubs, concerts, schools, anywhere privacy can be invaded. And then there's the levels of distraction. Distraction is an increasingly important consideration. The cost to productivity of distraction is massive. And I'm not just talking about the safety aspects of distraction, which we already know there's a profound impact on safety, but just to productivity. Real productivity requires momentum. As you concentrate on a task, every minute that goes by, more and more of your processing power kind of gets channeled in, kind of gets synced in and focuses on a task. You've been in the zone when you sat down to write a story that you thought was going to take 2 hours, and then maybe the one last week took 2 hours, and then 25 minutes, 30 minutes later, you're done. And you've been completely oblivious to what's going on around you, and you've been hyper-focused. Isn't that an amazingly productive thing? Because you're putting so much energy into it. If you had stopped 10 minutes into that because you saw a tweet come in or something had happened, you would have been starting from ground zero or from first gear again. Whereas you were cruising along in fifth gear there for 25 minutes, and that's why you got all that work done.
Yeah, that's very true. That used to be how it was. You used to be able to focus for even 20
And so you got to find
minutes.
that. So Google Glass, that extra level of distracting, it's going to take that to a magnified degree. Now speaking, just if I can kind of sidebar for a moment, that whole issue of distraction, as soon as you add an external mechanism into your daily process, like a timer, when that distraction occurs, when the tweet pops up in the corner of your screen or when the phone buzzes, vibrates on your desktop, and your temptation is to look at it, if you're focused on the task, you look at the timer and you go, 10 more minutes, no, I can do this. And you don't lose that momentum. So that's part of that. It's part of the cultural change that you do, yeah.
For more information, go to dottotech.com. For Northern Life, this is Darren MacDonald.